I officially hit financial freedom at 32 years old with a $1.2 million portfolio. A lot of people think you have to move to traditional financial capitals like New York, London, or Tokyo to accumulate that kind of wealth before your hair turns grey. But honestly, my secret weapon was doing everything right here in Singapore. The environment here has a unique blueprint, a set of structured, built-in advantages that the government has quietly put together over decades. If you know how to navigate them, these mechanisms act like an economic trampoline for everyday corporate professionals. Today, I am going to share my personal journey and break down the 10 distinct advantages that paved my way to a 7-figure portfolio by my early 30s, so you can apply these same principles to your own financial life.
Point number 1. High earning potential. Singapore is one of the biggest business hubs in Asia. Many global technology companies, banks, and multinational corporations have their regional headquarters here. Because these companies compete for talent on a global level, salaries are often much higher than in many neighboring countries. This was one of the biggest reasons I was able to accelerate my wealth building journey. Throughout my corporate career, every time I upgraded my skills, there was usually a better paying opportunity available. I didn't need to move to New York, London, or Tokyo to access high-income jobs. The opportunities were already here. A lot of people focus only on saving money. But the truth is that building wealth becomes much easier when you increase your income. If you earn $3,000 a month, there is only so much you can save. But if you earn $8,000, $10,000 or more, your ability to invest grows dramatically. Looking back, the strong earning opportunities available in Singapore gave me the foundation I needed to build a 7-figure portfolio.
Point number 2. Low income taxes. Making money is important, but keeping it is just as important. In many countries, high-income earners can lose 40% to 50% of their income through various taxes. Imagine working harder, taking on more responsibility, earning a promotion, and then seeing nearly half of your additional income disappear. Singapore's tax system is very different. Even at the highest levels, personal income taxes remain relatively low compared to many developed countries. As my salary increased over the years, I was able to keep a much larger portion of what I earned. That extra money wasn't spent on luxury items. It was invested, month after month, year after year. Many people underestimate how powerful this advantage is. A few extra $1,000 every year may not seem like much at first, but over a decade of investing and compounding, it can make an enormous difference. Point number 3. Zero capital gains tax. This is one of the most powerful wealth-building advantages available in Singapore. In many countries, when your stocks increase in value and you sell them for a profit, the government takes a percentage of those gains through taxes. Singapore doesn't tax capital gains on normal personal investments. Think about what that means. If your investment earns $100,000 in profit, you keep the entire $100,000. There is no capital gains tax reducing your returns. Over many years, this creates a huge compounding advantage. Every dollar stays invested and continues working for you. I had opportunities earlier in my career to relocate to places like San Francisco and Sydney. But when I compared the tax structures, I realized that remaining in Singapore would allow my investments to grow faster. Sometimes wealth is not about making more money. Sometimes it is simply about losing less of it.
Point number 4. Easy and low-cost investing. Building wealth becomes much easier when investing is simple. Because Singapore is a major financial center, there are many brokerage firms, banks, and investment platforms competing for customers. This competition keeps fees low and makes investing accessible. For me, this meant I could invest regularly into global markets, especially the US stock market, without paying high fees. I set up automatic monthly investments into diversified index funds. Every payday, money was invested automatically. No emotions,
No guessing, no trying to predict market crashes. Just consistency. That simple system allowed me to benefit from dollar cost averaging and build wealth steadily over time. Point number 5. A lifestyle that makes saving easier. This might sound surprising. Many people criticize Singapore for being predictable or overly structured. But from a financial perspective, that predictability can actually be an advantage. When I spend time in places with endless entertainment, spontaneous travel opportunities, and constant social activities, I noticed how easy it was to spend money. A dinner here, a weekend trip there, a concert next week. The expenses never stopped. Singapore's organized lifestyle naturally reduced many of those spending temptations, making it easier to maintain a high savings rate. Point number 6. Being surrounded by ambitious people. The people around you influence your financial future more than most people realize. Singapore attracts highly educated and ambitious professionals from around the world. In my workplace, discussions about investing, career growth, and financial planning were normal. People weren't just talking about salaries. They were talking about assets, investments, retirement plans, long-term wealth. That environment pushed me to improve my own financial knowledge and develop better habits. Point number 7. The CPF system and forced savings. Many people complain about mandatory savings. I used to feel the same way. Every month, a portion of my salary was automatically directed into my Central Provident Fund accounts. At first, I wished I had complete control over that money. But over time, I realized something important. Most people struggle to save consistently. The CPF system removes that problem by making saving automatic. Instead of relying on motivation, the system relies on structure. And structure often beats willpower. Point number 8. A culture that values financial responsibility. In Singapore, conversations about money are normal. People openly discuss careers, investments, mortgages, and financial planning. Because financial literacy is common, young professionals are exposed to wealth-building ideas much earlier. This creates an environment where saving and investing feel normal rather than unusual. That cultural mindset played a major role in shaping my financial habits. Point number 9. The public housing system. Housing in Singapore is expensive. There's no denying that. However, the Housing and Development Board system gives many citizens access to government-supported home ownership. More than 80% of residents live in these homes. Instead of spending decades paying rent to landlords, many people are able to build equity through home ownership. Over time, that equity becomes a valuable asset that contributes to long-term wealth. Point number 9. The public housing system. Housing in Singapore is expensive. There's no denying that. However, the Housing and Development Board system gives many citizens access to government-supported home ownership. More than 80% of residents live in these homes. Instead of spending decades paying rent to landlords, many people are able to build equity through home ownership. Over time, that equity becomes a valuable asset that contributes to long-term wealth.